Hello, everyone. Once again, thank you for joining in uh, on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like. We're still in the last two verses of chapter 4 in James, verses 16 and 17. And it's about knowing and not doing. When you know what to do and you don't do it, it's still a sin. So it's about boasting and the omission thereof. So we're going to speak a little bit about that today. And the verses 16 reads like this. It says, "But now you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil. Therefore, to him who knows to do good and does not do it, to him it is a sin." So James is telling us when we know what to do, when we know to do right and we don't do right, it's a sin, just like not doing right. Both are sins. We're supposed to be obedient and do what is correct and what is right. So James is speaking to us about that because so many times we know what to do, we just don't do it. The sin of omission is a sin as well. So the sin of boasting in verse 16, it says, this is the sin that he speaks of. And it's a Greek word that's called alazanonia. And it's funny how they said it comes from the root word of a quack. The root word of a quack, a wandering quack. You know, quack could be a quack doctor or whatever, who supposedly know what they're doing and don't have a clue about what's going on. So I was just amazed to see that, where the root word of that word comes from, a wandering quack. But James is speaking about the sin of knowing and not knowing what to do. Knowing and not knowing what to do. Or knowing, and then if you know it and then you don't do it, that's still a sin. To know a thing and then you don't do it, it's a sin as well. He said, "But now ye rejoice in your boasting. All such rejoicing is evil. Therefore to him that knoweth to do good and does not do it, what? It is a sin also." So James speaks directly to the attitude of pride and the dangers of ignoring what we know is right. So many times we know what's right, we just don't do it. We feel like, well, I'm not going to get involved. Well, if you can do something to help somebody, you should do it. Many people think sin is all about doing something that's wrong. But no, sin is also knowing that something should be done and you don't do it. So the scripture teaches us that sin is also failing to do what is right. That is also a sin. The dangers of boasting without God. James warns us about rejoicing in your boasting. This refers to people who make plans and they're so confident, they got the big head, they really think they got it going on and ain't put God nowhere up in the picture. Well, it's not gonna last. It's not gonna work. Without God, nothing is possible. It's just not gonna work. So we say, I'll do this tomorrow, and I'll go here tomorrow, and I'll make all this money tomorrow. It's all I. God is nowhere in the picture. Anytime you hear somebody talking about I, well, you might see them, trying to move up temporarily, but it's not going to last. They're going to fall flat on their face eventually. Because it's not about I. It has to be about God. It has to be about God. So, boasting is not just words. It's a heart that depends on itself. When you're boasting, you saying you don't need nobody, you don't need God, you don't need nobody. You're depending on yourself. Self. It's not going to work. It's not going to last. Because without God, there's no way it's going to last. So before making plans, we should say, if it is the Lord's will, keep me humble and help me depend on you, Lord. That's what you need to do. Take it to the Lord. Let him humble you. Humble yourself to the Lord. Take your plans and your worries and your cares or whatever it is that you're trying to do, take to him. He already got the answer. He already know your heart. But when you think you can do it on your own, that's not the way it works. Sin is not just what you do, but it is also what you don't do. That's in verse 17. It's not just what you do, but it's also what you don't do. Example. Someone come up and ask you to say, look, I'm in need of some food or whatever. Okay, and you pray for them. Well, it's good that you're praying for them. Thank God you're praying for them. But you want to do something other than praying because they can't eat on your prayer. Yes, you want to pray for them, but you want to try to get them some food. Or if you don't have food to give to them, educate them. Give them some resources where they can go and get some, or how they can do better. Give them something immediately along with that prayer. Prayer changes things, yes. But if you have knowledge and you don't share that knowledge with that person, or if you have means where you could help that person out at that moment, you should do it. You should do it. Prayer is wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful. But at that moment, they need something more than your prayer. And if you have the authority and if you have the thing that they need, give it to them. Or if you have education, knowledge, and you could tell them where they can go to get that thing, give them that knowledge, educate them. Because many times people just are not educated. They get in situations because they don't know. So when you know and you don't do, or you have, or you can give and you don't give, well, that's a sin as well. James is letting us know that is a sin also. So to him that knoweth to do good and does not do good, that is a sin. That is a sin as well. So if you know to help someone and don't do it, it's a sin. If you know to forgive and refuse to forgive, that's sin. Well, if you don't forgive and you know you need to forgive and you're refusing to forgive, that's a sin. That's a sin. If you know to pray, give, love, or obey, and you don't do any of those things, okay, what? It's a sin. This is called the sin of omission. Omission, the sin of omission. God holds us accountable, not just for actions, but inaction. We are held accountable for the things that we don't do when we know to do them. Key point. God holds us accountable, not just for our actions, but we know to do right and don't do right. We're held accountable for that. That is still a sin. James also says knowledge brings what? Responsibility. Think about that. Knowledge brings responsibility. The more you know, you're responsible to share it. You need to share it. Knowledge brings responsibility. The more you know, the more God expects you to do. The more you know, God's going to expect more. You can hear sermons, you can read the Bible, and receiving instructions. Long as they line up with the word of God, all that stuff is good. All these things are increasing your responsibility. So if you see someone in need and then you ignore them, you can't say, oh, I didn't know. How you going to say you didn't know when you saw they were in need? You did not know. No, that's a sin. Even if you don't give them the thing that they need, educate them. Educate them. It's important. The fact that you do nothing to help them in that moment, that's where the sin comes in. Delayed obedience is the same thing as disobedience. Delayed obedience is disobedience. Sometimes, we'll say, well, oh, I'll do it later. Do it now. Don't wait later. Do it now. God told you to do it now. He didn't tell you wait till tomorrow, next week, next year. That's disobedience. When he tells you to do something, you do it when he say do it. Or I get it right eventually. Well, get it right now. Why can't you get it right now? Try to get it right now. Don't want to hear you say, oh, I get it right eventually. No, try it now. Get it right now. Or I forgive when I'm ready. And I hear people say that out there, oh, when I get ready to forgive, I forgive. Once you are aware that you need to forgive, you need to do it now. Otherwise, it's disobedience. God relies on us to be obedient, not disobedient. When he tells us to do something, he ain't telling us to wait and do it next week. He's telling you to do it now. Be obedient now. If he wanted to do it next week, he'll wait and tell you next week. We got to stop putting off doing good. Stop putting off doing things that are good. Got to stop doing that. Stop refusing to help people when we know we have the authority to help. We've got to do better as a people. We've got to love one another more. Be more concerned about one another more than what we're doing. You always say, well, I don't want to get involved. Well, God had you in that place and time for a reason. Get involved. If it's not going to kill you, get involved. God will bless you. He'll bless you for it. We've got to learn how to become more involved and stop looking the other way. Because we're good at that. We'll turn our head and act like we don't see it. When we have the means to make whatever that situation better for somebody else. We've got to do better as a people. So we need to start examining ourselves. We need to ask ourselves some questions. What good thing has God been telling me to do? What have God been telling you to do and you still been disobedient, still ain't do it? You know exactly what I'm talking about. What has he been telling you to do and you still been hard-headed and being disobedient, still has not done it? Who have you been avoiding to help? God placed you in people's lives to help people. We're the light of this world. We should be helping those who need it. So who have you been avoiding? And God put you in their life to help. What act of obedience have you put on back burner? Think about it. You know better than me. You know better than me. God is not just looking at what we avoid. He's looking at what we're ignoring. He's looking at things that we ignore as well. James, in my conclusion, James closes with this thought, and I think it's a what I would call a serious truth. He said, knowing is not enough. Doing is what matters. Let me say that again. Knowing is not enough. Doing is what matters. Don't just hear the word, live it. Live out that word. Don't just feel convicted, but what? Respond. We need some action behind it. Don't keep planning. What? Obey God today. Don't plan. No, go ahead and obey him today. He called you today. Answer him today. Obey him today. Tomorrow is not promised. Today is the day to what? Do the good you've been putting off right now. Right now. You know, do the good you've been putting off. Go ahead on today and get started. Obey the voice of God. God's been speaking to you. Don't be saying, well, look, if it's really God, he got to tell me 3 more times. No. It shouldn't take but 1 time. Obey him, and it's a done deal. If you know his voice. And you should know his voice. You should know his voice. Walk in humility and don't walk in pridefulness. Do not walk in pridefulness. Walk in humility. It is not what we knew that counts. Past tense. It's not what we knew that counts. It's what we did with what we knew. Let me repeat that now. Let's repeat that. It's not what we knew, past tense, that counts. But it's what you did with what you knew at that time. That's what counts. What did you do with that? Knowledge. What did you do with that knowledge? So I hope this helped you some. Because many times we may not know that omission is a sin, putting things on the back burner, delay sin. Yes, it's a sin. That's why James tells you that. It is a sin also. So I hope this has helped someone, broaden your horizon, give you a different take on things. Hopefully you'll begin to move into your ministries or your walk or your path or whatever it may be, and start doing things differently. When he sends you, answer. When he say go, you go. Don't ask why. He'll tell you what he got you covered. Wherever he send you, he already got everything covered, planned for you. Answer him. Don't put him on the back burner. That's disobedience. Once again, thank you so much. I hope you got something out of these last couple chapters, verses rather, in chapter 4. Don't forget to subscribe and to like my channel. Spread the word to your friends, and have a blessed day. Blessings and favor to you. Bye.